Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook. Today we are going to be making the king of all side dishes, roast potatoes. Now these are some peeled potatoes. I've purposely peeled them and put some angles onto the potatoes. You can see them there. The reason for that is you want to create as much edges on the potatoes as possible. So when you're cutting them, if you get one here, you can see how it's been peeled. I've took a little bit, just a bit deeper. You want a big flat edge. Now I prefer bigger potatoes when I'm making roast potatoes. You can have smaller ones. It's completely up to you. Obviously the smaller ones take less time to cook, so you've got to keep an eye on them. The processes are exactly the same. So I'm just halving these at the minute. Now, these potatoes, there's a couple of extra steps. So you see there, I'm just cutting that one into thirds because I want to create bigger edges. There's going to be a couple of extra steps in here that is well worth doing to make your roast potatoes crispy on the outside, fluffy in the middle. Now, the great thing about roast potatoes is they go with anything. If you're not using like the normal goose fat or beef dripping, if you're just using normal vegetable oil, they can literally go with meat dishes, vegetarian dishes, whatever you want. So here's the first extra step. What you're going to do is you're going to literally rinse through your potatoes, removing all the starch. So you want to keep wringing them until the water is clear. Throw a couple into the sink for good measure. Okay, luckily the sink's nice and clean. But you want to just keep washing them until all the starch has come off your potatoes. So we keep doing that. Then what we want is we've got our pan that's travelled the world. We're going to parboil these. Well, we're not actually going to parboil them. We're going to boil them. Okay, and that's the next step. So we're going to salt the pan, salt the water, put the potatoes in, and we're going to put them onto the stove. Now, while I'm doing that, I want to just say thanks very much for everybody who's subscribing, leaving comments. Look, it means the world to me. This is just the start of the adventure together. Hopefully, we can go on quite an adventure. So you can see here, these have been boiling for a little while, just in hot water, and normally at this stage you would take them out and start the roasting, because you can see it's starting to cook in the middle, and you've got that translucent ring on there. So you would normally boil at this stage, normal roast potatoes, take them out, and you do that. We're going to keep cooking them. We're going to keep them going a little bit longer. So these have had a little bit longer, and I'm just gently moving them just so I can judge when they're ready to be pulled out. You can still see there's still a little bit of a translucent ring. There's still a little bit uncooked in the middle. Now we're having a look. So it's now bubbling away. So again, we're going to come back, have another look. Yep, they're still holding nice. The moment that they start to come away is the moment that you want to take them off. So another few minutes later, you can see here that one broke up. That's when I know it's time to pull them. This is the next extra stage, is you want to put them on a rack, and you want to let them dry. Now as they're steam drying, what's going to happen is they'll start coming back together, but all the little edges, you can see there that they're almost drying out a little bit. They will become super crispy. Guys, like I said before, look, I do really appreciate the comments that I'm getting, the feedback. I'm glad you're enjoying these videos. I'm loving making them. It means absolutely the world to me, so I do appreciate that. Now is getting our roasting tray ready. Now, a bit of glug of oil in there. It looks like it's loads, but through the whole cooking process and the time it's going to take, to cook these roast potatoes, it's not that much. My advice would be as well is get these on. If you're going to make them today, they do take a couple of hours to make. Very little prep time. It's just all about patience and keeping an eye on them. But if you are, just allow that extra time, because you can cook the meat in advance. You can cook quite a lot of your dinner in advance, but the roast potatoes just take however long they take. So you've just got to be patient with them. You can see here I'm just crushing up some garlic. I quite like putting garlic in with my roast potatoes. Sometimes I put in rosemary as well, so you get a beautiful rosemary and garlic potato. Today though, it's just that. You can leave both of them out. It's completely up to you. So next stage, we're going to bring back, now the oil has to be hot. So when you bring this back in, you got to be careful. Okay, so again, it looks like it's quite a lot of oil, but over the cooking process, it's not that long. But you can see the potatoes. Now be careful. You can see the potatoes sizzling straight away. That's when you know your oil's hot enough. So you want to get all your potatoes in there. Again, because we've cut them on the flat side, I want to get that edge down in the oil first. You want to then coat all the potatoes in oil. Now bear in mind, you've spent all that time being extremely careful with them. This is the time you don't want to go a bit mental. So just gently pop the garlic in, throw them in the oven, and then you just leave them, let them cook. Every now and again, keep an eye on them, give them a bit of a toss in the oil, and then they come out looking like this. You can leave them for longer. You can to get even crispier. Depends on how patient you want to be. Okay, these were absolutely beautiful, crispy on the outside, fluffy in the middle. Perfect, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you are all staying safe out there. From my family to yours, Single Dad's Cookbook, signing off.